Turkey's president rejects Israel's recognition of Somaliland. Social media suspended in Gabon for spreading of false information. Difficult Russia-Ukraine peace talks end without breakthrough. And Stephen Colbert says CBS spiked interview with Democrat over FCC fears. Good afternoon and welcome to the World in 30 Minutes on Politics and Business Television. Turkey's President Recep Tayyip Erdogan has rejected Israel's recognition of the breakaway region of Somaliland as an independent nation. During a visit to Ethiopia, Erdogan said it could prove dangerous for a volatile region. In December, Israel became the first country to recognize Somaliland, which declared independence from Somalia more than 30 years ago. The move upset Mogadishu, which still considers Somaliland as part of its territory. Landlocked Ethiopia has yet to comment, but its plans 2 years ago to lease a piece of Somaliland's coastline to build a port angered Somalia at the time, and it was Erdogan who mediated an end to the dispute that had prompted fears of a wider conflict. In reaction to Erdogan's comment, Somaliland's foreign ministry said that Turkey, which has in recent years become an important geopolitical player in the Horn of Africa, should refrain from inflaming regional tensions. At a joint press conference in Addis Ababa with Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed, Erdogan said the Horn of Africa should not be the battlefield of foreign forces. Meanwhile, Abiy urged Turkey to support Ethiopia's quest for sea access, arguing that it was unjust for the country to remain landlocked. Eritrea officially seceded from Ethiopia in 1993, leaving the country without access to a 1,350-kilometer Red Sea coastline. Since the Somaliland deal fell through in 2024, Abiy has been pushing for ownership of Eritrea's southern port. Abiy said he had asked Turkey to exert diplomatic pressure and assist peacefully in securing access to the sea. And to Gabon now, Gabon's media regulator has announced the suspension of social media platforms until further notice, saying online content has fueled conflict and deepened divisions in the country. Its spokesperson, Jean-Claude Madume, did not specify which platforms will be affected, but WhatsApp, Facebook, and TikTok are popular in the country. Gabon is led by General Brice Oligui Nguema, who won presidential elections last year after leading a military coup in 2023. The 50-year-old president is facing growing social media unrest, which will say there were reports of partial disruption to some social media platforms. According to reports, some people were no longer able to access Facebook and TikTok. Mendomi's announcement has come as a shock to the Central African nation of about 2.5 million people, where social media is popular with younger people who use it for business as well as from a Syrian camp earlier this week, only to be turned back by being released from a Syrian camp earlier this week, only to be turned back by Syrian authorities for technical reasons. The ban was issued on advice from security agencies whom do not meet required legal threshold to be banned. Canberra has refused to repatriate the group, believed to be made up of the wives, widows, and children of IS fighters. There are 23 children among them. Prime Minister Anthony Albanese stressed that these families will not receive government support to come back to the country. However, legal experts have warned the government has an obligation to allow citizens the right of return, and responding to reports the group had valid Australian passports, Albanese said his government would not breach Australian law. Opposition politicians have raised security concerns about the possibility of these Australians' return. 9 are to come back to the country. However, legal experts have warned the government has an obligation to allow citizens the right of return, And responding to reports the group had valid Australian passports, Albanese said his government would not breach Australian law. Opposition politicians have raised security concerns about the possibility of these Australians' return. 9 backcountry skiers are missing following an avalanche in California's Lake Tahoe region, authorities have said. 6 others have been rescued after they become stranded, the Nevada County Sheriff's Office said. The avalanche was reported about 7:30 GMT in the Castle Peak area near the town of Truckee, according to officials. Weather conditions remain dangerous with a high chance of further avalanches. Officials initially reported that a group of 16 people in total, 4 guides and 12 clients, were involved, though that number was later lowered to 15. Experts from the nearby, posted by the sheriff's office, said 46 emergency responders had joined the rescue efforts. And to Israel now, Israeli fire has killed at least 2 Palestinians in separate incidents across the Gaza Strip on Wednesday, as Israel continues to block thousands of Palestinians from seeking urgent medical attention through the partially reopened Rafah crossing in its ongoing more than 2-year genocidal war on the enclave. Report has it that 1 child was killed in the northern strip when an Israeli drone targeted children on their way to check their destroyed homes in the sea. Meanwhile, soldiers opened fire on and killed Muhammad Jamal Najjar near the Bani Suhaila roundabout east of the city of Khan Yunis, Palestinian news agency Wafa reported. Gaza hospital sources said that Palestinians in Makuraka in the central strip and the Al-Mawasi area of Rafah are to the south. Since the ceasefire, which Israel has violated on a nearly daily basis, took effect in mid-October, more than 600 Palestinians have been killed and more than 1,600 wounded, according to the latest figures released by the Palestinian Ministry of Health earlier this week. You're still watching The World in 30 Minutes, live cracks over FCC fears. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back. U.S. late-night host Stephen Colbert has accused his network of refusing to broadcast an interview with a Texas lawmaker, James Talarico, out of concerns about a response from the FCC, which has new guidance, on equal airtime for political candidates. Colbert, host of The Late Show, went on to explain that new FCC guidelines or guidance on the equal time rule, which requires certain TV and radio broadcasters to give equal time to rival political candidates, could have created legal trouble for the network, according to CBS lawyers. The FCC regulates radio, television, and satellite airwaves, giving it power over a range of matters, including mergers and decency complaints. CBS flatly denied Colbert's claim in a statement on Tuesday. And to India now, an Indian university is facing backlash after one of its professors was caught falsely presenting a Chinese-made robot dog at a major artificial intelligence summit. It has reportedly since been asked to leave as the institution's own. But social media users quickly identified the robot as the Unitry GO2 sold by China's Unitry Robotics for about $2,800 and widely used in research and education globally. The episode has drawn sharp criticism and has cast an uncomfortable spotlight on India's AI ambitions. The embarrassment was amplified by electronics and information technology media account before the backlash. The post was later deleted. The Golgatiers and Singh have subsequently said the robot was not a university creation and the university had never claimed otherwise. The university stall remained